Okay guys, welcome to PestFirst First instructional online video. This is going to help you guys if you're stuck at home and you're not able to train. So it's for any of our friends that want to do a little bit of jiu-jitsu at home while they're not able to work in groups. Okay, with me Sandile is coming off a big EFC win and his own judo club, PS Brothers, just up the road. So I'm sure they're going to be doing their own stuff pretty soon as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is a double underhook sweep. It's an elevator sweep with a little bit of a difference. Okay, so what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to play from normal butterfly initially. Okay, so you can play from close guard with this too, but we're going to work from butterfly initially. Okay, I'm going to go to S grip behind his back with double underhooks. Okay, so I'm going to shoot straight through the middle. This is generally not too intimidating. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rock him forward and bring him up onto a platform. So I'm going double unders, bring him forward. Okay, and I'm not going to have too much tension in the armpits initially. Okay, so this is a bit of a trick. What I'm going to do is I drop him and I'm following him back up. But as I do that, I'm sliding my knuckles up from behind his back. So I drop him and I'm going to lift up my knuckles to behind the head. Again. Okay, so I'm going butterfly, we hand fight. I'm going to close the gap just a little bit. So I'm not reaching from too far. I'm actually going to scoot, bring myself a little bit closer, shoot. I'm going S grip behind the back because it's a nice long grip. You can also do gable if you've got really long arms, but I've got little short arms. So I'm going S grip behind the back, pulling him onto my table as he bases, because he's cautious of getting swept. There's quite a bit of space between me and his armpit, which gives me a bit of extra leverage to hit his arms a little bit harder. So as I drop him, he's relaxed because he doesn't feel pressure, and then I go slip. So I'm passing a loop up his back. Okay, I'm also trying to keep him quite low so his head's on my chest. I don't want him to posture up and get too far away from me because then I lose a little bit of pressure. If you do it differently, what I used to try in the past is I keep tension the whole time. So if I keep my hands in the armpits and pull him forward, he's aware of the pressure. So what it's going to cause him to do is as I bring him forward, he's going to base a little bit heavier because he knows if I rock him forward, this can happen. Okay, so don't give him the warning too early. Slip your hands from quite low and kind of surprise him as he bases. So his hands will be relaxed when he bases because he wants to be pliable. So he wants to be able to adjust his base. If he's too stiff, he won't have good base. So from here, while he's relaxed, rock him back, up. Knuckles behind the head, flare your elbows nice and tight. And then you want to make sure that mid-tricep is where your elbow line is. If I go too close to the elbows, he's just going to slip the arms out and he's going to be gone. We'll show once more, then we'll move on. S grip onto my platform. I'm also linking elbows to knees. I don't want to open up my core. Okay, this causes me to work a little bit more with muscle. Go elbow to knee, bring him back, hands behind the triceps, and this is where I'm going to start. This is my staging point for the sweep. Let me show you one from a different angle, just so you can see the hand positions. Let's work from here. So I'm going to shoot the S grip. Head in the middle, bring him onto my platform, linking elbows and knees. Okay, so from here he's going to be thinking of basing and pass. Now, as I drop him back, I slip the loop up to behind the head, and I make sure I maintain his elbows and I keep the head down against my chest. So there's a bit of pressure here, flaring, but I'm giving him just enough pressure so he can't get his elbows out. Okay, and this is my staging point. Okay, let's go drill. We can move straight on to the next one. Okay, so we're going on to the next stage. So you guys should all have the staging point and the setup for the sweep. Okay, so there's one or two things that he can do here. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and eliminate them one by one. So I'm going double under S grip. I'm knocking him forward, linking my elbows and knees, bringing his head above me so he bases. Okay, drop him in the bucket, bringing my loop higher, and now I've isolated his arms. Okay, so this stretches him out and he's not able to keep his nice small shape, which is going to prevent sweeps. Okay. If he wants to prevent sweeps and have good base, he's got to make sure his surface area on the floor is nice and compact and he's sitting back on his heels. So I'm preventing that. So open him up, keep him nice and long. I've got butterfly hooks in over here. So the next thing I want to do, I can sweep directly from here, but the tighter I can get the arms against the ears, the better the sweep works. Okay, so I can take my grip and I can reel it in. So I go from here, I can go gable, or I'm going behind my wrist. So I'm actually tightening up the loop a bit. So I go S grip, which is quite a nice long grip. Now I want want his arms to be directly above his head, and I want them tighter on the shoulders, so I want a bit of shoulder pressure. So I'm going from here, squeeze his arms onto my neck. So I'm squeezing here, I'm using my shoulders to control his elbows, and I'm using my forearms just underneath the shoulder now. Okay, so I'm tightening this up quite a bit, and this breaks his posture even more. Yeah. So now all I'm doing is I'm literally doing a barrel roll. So from here, it's not a typical elevator sweep. I'm leading with my upper body first. So I'm going to roll, and then the feet will follow. If I have to do a little bit of an elevator or hook sweep at the end, I can do that. But for the most part, it's just dragging the top of the body and the legs will go. His hips are so flat that he's not able to stand up and elevate to get on his feet. So I'm working from here. Okay, so I've got S-grip first, behind the head. It's a little bit long, so if I start turning here, there's a chance you'll pop one of the elbows out of the split. So when I've got my under, okay, from here, tighten. I'm flexing onto the neck, so the arms are controlled even straighter. So he's lost all the dexterity with the hands. You'll see his body's completely flat now, and that's my focus, is stretching him out as far as I can. Okay, and the tighter I climb this up the forearm, the tighter my grip's going to be. Right. So all I'm doing is I'm rolling over my shoulder. I'm not working flat on my back trying to elevate because it's still heavy. So I'm barrel rolling, moving my upper body first and my face. He applies a little bit of resistance here, so try not to roll with me. He applies a little bit of resistance, then I just do an elevator right there. Squeeze the whole way, don't let it go. Keep the hand position all the way through the arm. Facing head on the floor, wide elbows for base. And this is kind of irrelevant, but I just make sure I'm controlling the hips with my knees. Okay, I'm using wide elbows to provide some stability. I keep my head in the middle because his hands are isolated. And if you've got relatively tight shoulders, then he's already feeling some pressure there. This way. S-grip. Forward. Drop him in the bucket. Tighten my grip. Okay, so I'm flexing it right onto my neck as hard as I can. Okay, this makes it a little uncomfortable. Okay, so I'm not going to elevate. He's still heavy here. I do a barrel roll, so I move my whole body. Then I elevate. I'm going slowly head down into mount. Wide elbows, so you can see my elbows here. And I put my head through the middle, which still isolates the shoulders and the arms. Okay, let's go try that. Okay guys, right, so what we're going to do now, I've got to this point, it's quite easy to elevate somebody to there. Okay, so now what happens is as they become a bit more savvy towards us, they know that when they fall back, they're going to apply some pressure over here. So he's going to squeeze his arms down just a little bit more. Okay, so it stands to reason, I can't lift both arms, so what I do is I focus my pressure, so I use both of my arms on one of his arms. Okay, so what I'm going to do from here is as I elevate from here, I'm aware that he's going to be a bit strong. I keep the one underhook, I'm dropping the one over his head, so I'm going to isolate head and arm together. So I'm going from here, drop, isolate behind the head. So now I'm going a gable grip, and I'm focusing on raising one elbow. Okay, bring this head to my chest. I can drop it and I can go directly for the one arm, but he's still got, if he's very, very strong, if I take the head out of the game and I tuck the head in and I pin the arm and the head together, he's a lot more weak. Okay, so I'm going a tight gable grip over the wrists. I'm raising this elbow and I'm pulling it into the ear. Okay, so this provides us very similar kind of pressure. We'll go again. So I go elevate. Remove one hand, shoot it over the neck, gable grip, drop, elevate one side. Okay. So, contrary to what we think over here, this is going to allow me to pin his head down. Even though he's got this hand, we're still going to sweep towards the hand that's free. Okay, so let's get a little bit of a better angle so I can show you. So I'm going under, elevate. As he comes back, I shoot this over, gable. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to use a little bit more of an elevator here. I'm going to pull the head into my armpits, and I'm going to use this torque. So I'm going to use my bicep to roll this over the top. I'm going from here, pin, I'm still rolling onto my side. Okay, and I'm controlling. I put my head down. I've got this half guard hook over here if I want stability, so I can pull myself up and go straight to half guard, or I can switch and I can start to knee cut. Pressure on the neck, pressure on the shoulder. So the moment I start elevating like this, I'm getting a nice upper body twist, which is encouraging the roll. So here, even if you apply some base on us, so your base make it difficult, I bring the head in tight and I'm lifting the shoulder. Keep the foot in for stability. As he goes onto his back, my toes are still inside. Got my bicep pressure on the face, so I'm driving forward, and then I slice. Let's try that. Okay guys, so you guys should have all the entries. You should have the first sweep of the double unders. You should have the head and the arm isolated. Okay, so now what we're going to do, he's a little bit strong and he counters quite nicely. So what's going to happen is I go double unders. Okay, flexes up, so I bring it through, I control head. It's quite important that this thumb's behind his ear on top of the head. If you go to the neck, he's still quite strong and he can pull his head up a bit, which is going to prevent a lot of the sweep. Okay, so this is causing issues now. So my hand's too low, or as I get to here, he drives forward slightly. So he drives forward towards me, lifts his head. Okay, so this angle prevents my downward pressure. So my pressure's slightly in the wrong place. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to again bring him forward with my feet. I'm going to pop this over the back of the head. So pop, and I'm going to isolate the shoulder to chest. Okay, so now what I'm going to do again is I'm going to elevate the hand. So I'm using my whole body now. I've got this trapped against my neck and my elbow's behind his tricep. Okay, digging my left elbow underneath his chin. This, I don't want to be too far away from his body because he's still got base. I want to line the arm up as much as I can with the body here. Okay, so again, I'm first leading with, I'm making sure this hooks in because his defense is going to be to back step towards my right knee. Okay, that's going to take some pressure. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to elevate, causing a lot of tension here. You can stay still there for me. Okay, so with a lot of tension behind the shoulder. I'm tucking this elbow to my hip now. So I elevate, turn, right, and then I give myself a little bit of space. So I'm going on my hip, and I'm tucking my elbow underneath my body. And it starts to roll, elevate, hit to the floor. Once the head touches, I can breathe because I've got good pressure over it. I'll show you from the angle in a second. Let's try from this way. So I drop, catch the head. Okay, he drives forward to prevent the sweep. Okay, he's too strong, so I pass the loop over the head. Bring that shoulder to my sternum. I'm going to line up, right? I'm going to tuck my elbow underneath my hip. Okay, which already causes a little bit of shoulder pressure. So I go open, tuck. Now I'm a little bit close. You can possibly sweep here, but if he's heavy or strong, you want to give yourself a little bit more space to optimize your angle. And then I'm rolling. I'm not using the elevator too much. When I feel resistance, he might base wider with that foot, so he steps over just a little bit. That's when the elevator comes into play. Okay? Head touching the mat for base. I'm still tucking my right elbow to my hip, so there's loads of pressure on the shoulder. It's uncomfortable. I'm going down. Once his head touches, I can either step to mount immediately, or I can lock in the half guard. Okay, but now I want to isolate this because there's a really good chance of a reverse arm lock or shoulder lock here, so I don't want to let go of this arm and come to mount. I want to maintain this pressure the whole way. Let's do it straight. Under. Up. Catch the head and the arm. he drives forward and lifts his head. Okay, I've lost that battle, I go over, shoulder to sternum, straight, tuck to my hip, which causes shoulder pressure. I'm rolling, I'm not using the elevator yet. The moment I feel resistance, that's when my elevator comes into play. Keep the elbow tucked to the hip, so I'm really focused on cutting into the top of the shoulder here. So tuck, my head's tucked against the arm, so this whole arm's isolated. Head down, when his head touches, that's as far as I need to go. Then I rotate myself. I can isolate this arm, I can either go mount, or I can work from half, right over here. I can just lock my feet there. And then I can start to work on this arm. Sorry. Okay, that should be good.